All right, so what are we going to do here? Looking at this one, I've got 5s and 6s and 4s and 10s. So we did a 4 and 10 on the previous example, and that got to 20. And so 5 and 2 is smaller than 6 and 5. So I'm going to multiply this one by a 5, and maybe I'll make it a negative 5. So that's a positive 20. And I'm like this one times a 2, so it's a negative 20. So I have now a 20x plus 25y minus, and that's going to be minus 60. Okay, and that's going to give me a minus 20x plus 12y equals, and that's going to be a plus 60. Well, this is going to be kind of similar to the last one. These cancel, so that's 0. Those cancel, and so we get 37y is equal to 0, or y equals 0. So this time we get y equals 0. So with that, let's solve for maybe the top one. Minus 4x minus 5 times 0 equals 12. Well, that's 0, so we can divide by negative 4. And x equals, and now it looks like a negative 3. All right, so negative 3, 0 is what I'm saying the solution is. So now let's check it. Minus 4 times minus 3 minus 5 times 0 equals 12. Well, that's 0. 4 times 3 is 12. Negative times negative is positive, so 12 equals 12. That one works. Now the next one, we have a negative 10 times negative 3 plus 6 times 0, the parenthesis, and that equals 30. Well, that's 0. Negative times negative is positive. 3 times 10 is 30 equals 30. And so that works. So it's independent and consistent. Okay, and so that would be our solution. All right, how about this one? Here we've got x's and y's all over the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's take the 6 over here, the 12x over here. So I'll have a minus 42y. And then if I add 12x here, that'd be a plus 12x, and that equals, if I add 6, and then I'll have 6. Now here, well, now what do we have here? We have, this is probably one of these is supposed to be a y. I'm going to assume it's this one. I don't know for sure, but we'll work the equation with that one being a y, because I doubt they'd put 2 x's in here. All right, so if that's the y, then let's put it first. So that's a minus 7 halves y, and then plus x equals, now I'm going to have to take that 1/2 over, and that's going to be a 1/2. All right, so what do we want to do first? Well, I think let's get rid of the fractions first. So let's multiply the whole thing by 2. And when I do that, I'm going to get a negative 7y plus 2x equals, and that's just going to be a 1. Now that's going to be a lot easier now to simplify, because now I can see, okay, well, I can multiply by a 6 and get rid of either the x's or the y's, and it's going to have to be a negative 6. All right, so now I have negative 42y plus 12x equals 6. And here I've got a positive 42y, and then minus 12x equals a minus 6. Well, what happens here? Well, those cancel, that's 0. Those cancel, that's 0. Well, that's true. So that means we have an infinite solutions. And so it's going to be dependent and consistent. And so that would be our solution to this one. And again, I got lucky, I guess, makes it easier, because that is the y. And if we had said, okay, well, maybe that's the y instead, that would have given us a totally different answer. And so I'm glad I picked the one I did for the x versus y. All right, so that's all I have. I hope that helps.